What's up, Starcraft fans? Today we're doing the tier list for Die together on Scythe of Amon. Brian, let's hear the mutation.
Scythe of Amon is the map where we have to destroy 5 void slivers pre-placed on the map before timer runs out. Each void sliver we destroy adds more time, and gives more powers to the remaining ones. Every enemy is immune to either you or your ally, and the immunity is reversed when the units revive upon first death.
Yeah, so it's just dying Polarity once again, which means lots and lots of pain. But at least this pain can be circumvented if you and your ally are good at sniping, or just have strong commanders. So Sticksbetter and Tutu are on the call with us today. How are you guys?
Great.
Great.
Doing well.
All right. So Sticksbender, how are we gonna rank the commanders this week?
So basically, I mean, it's hard to rank commanders when there's polarity and nothing even matters anymore.
Last time this came up on Chain of Ascension, I think our metric was tanking. How well can you tank while your ally gets into position?
Yeah, I'm not sure how well that works against this one, to be honest. Yeah, it's probably going to come down to a lot of
Cheesing?
and how well you can. If both commanders can cheese is great. If only one can cheese is terrible because the other person's just stuck. Unless, of course, you happen to roll one person gets all of the shards, because that's a thing that can happen apparently.
Yes. It happened to us, right? Tutu?
Yeah, it happened to us. CTG.
Oh, no.
I am the one who observed our.
Oh yeah,
remember?
yeah.
It's not 4-1, it was 5-0.
It was 5-0.
5-0.
It was
I
5-0.
killed
I forgot.
0 shards. I had 0 damage dealt to shards that game. I just watched.
Sorry,
it was
Sticksbender.
very
I
boring,
forgot.
honestly.
Yeah.
It was very, very boring.
It was 5-0. That was crazy. Anyway. So yeah, it's just gonna be, I guess, a ranking of people on Scythe of Amon. I don't know. How about you,
I
Tutu?
don't even know, man.
So I don't know exactly how you'd rank them per se, but I have split them into 2 groups: snipers and front door guys. Like, of course, some of the front door commanders have
Can also snipe.
they're able to snipe, but with heavy losses. So those that can snipe can get a slightly higher ranking, I suppose. And then if you can snipe and help defend, or if you can do both, then you get like a higher ranking, I suppose.
All right.
That's how
Sounds fair.
That's how I put it.
Sounds fair.
So basically, it's basically just going to be the Scythe of Amon solo cheesing tier list.
Or maybe
And you just have to solo cheese in parallel with another guy who's also solo cheesing.
maybe how many options you have, whether you can cheese or straight up or
you
both.
gotta fight. You gotta be able to help your ally fight waves.
All right, let's begin. Abathur.
So Abathur suffers from just die because he can't farm.
That's true.
It's just gonna take him so long, and I think if the enemies that are immune to you touch your toxic nest, they go away, but they don't get hurt, right?
Yes.
So you're just wasting toxic nests. It takes so long to ramp up. If you somehow get 3 Leviathans, you can finally help, but that takes super long before you even get started. So I'm gonna put him in like D.
How about you, Sticksbender?
That is kind of what I was expecting. I was thinking E, but D, E range. I don't think he's F. Well, maybe. He's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
That's the summary. He's pretty terrible. We can agree on that much.
All right. So D, right?
D with potential for demotion.
All right. I actually haven't C, but yeah, I heard 2-2, and then yeah, D sounds absolutely fair. Alarak, where do we have him?
So I guess this is what Tutu was talking about. Like, can snipe, but it's costly. The early shards he can snipe. If his teammate is oh so nice as to let him kill his shards first. Oh so generous of your teammate, who will definitely cooperate with you and will definitely not be working against you. Don't you love Polarity? It's such a great mutator. anyways, then yeah, Alarak with that can have the potential to snipe the early shards, but later shards he can't really snipe. Is going to have issues with later shards. He's going to have to actually fight them, which means he's going to need his teammate to help. And with early shards, if he wants to snipe them, he needs his teammate to let him. Oh, also, I believe his structure overcharge still hits things that it can't actually damage, so that makes that a lot less useful. At least the wave defense will be pretty easy, because your hero unit can crowd control everything into oblivion by waving his arms.
Yes.
So that's something.
Crowd control is still pretty
like
good.
what you got to work with. Yeah, crowd control is basically what you've got to work with here.
So ladder.
B.
Okay. How about you,
Maybe
Tutu?
C.
How about you, Tutu?
Alarak, like, if you were doing regular, like without polarity, he could snipe shards, but that requires structure overcharge, and that doesn't work when polarity is around. So he loses his Scythe of Amon's sniping strategy. You can go in with like tons of destroyers, but you're gonna lose a ton of stuff. So it's not the best idea to try that. You can go with like your Death Fleet plus your War Prism and snipe, but you're gonna lose a lot, if not everything.
Painful.
So you probably don't want to do that. Yeah, so as Stick said, the wave defense is all right. So that's good. I categorized him as a front door commander with sniping options. So he's in C.
Okay.
For me.
I also had him in C. Are you okay with C, Stickspender?
Yep, I said B or C.
All right. Without prestige, does it change?
Same thing.
Does he still have sniping ability without this prestige?
Actually, no.
Yeah, I think he might go down without the mothership to D.
Probably, yeah.
All right, there it is.
He's just only front door.
He's only front door. Arcturus.
He has ESO's nuke plus the bunker sniping strat. The bunker sniping strat is not that great, because if you aggro the wrong dude and it has polarity, you're gonna not be able to kill it. So hopefully you
can't kill any of them. They have just die.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but hopefully you only aggro one of them so that you can like repair long enough so that the shard goes down. But yeah, if you get your expo, you can ESO them at least. You can ESO all but the top left shard from the middle from the expo. But you gotta like you gotta use like the space where you mine.
Yeah.
So you probably have to clear that area. So I put him in B.
And if you're player 2, your ally might get mad if you build Earth Splitters in this expansion.
Yeah, I put him in B.
Okay, how about you, Stickspender?
You can snipe shards in a plethora of ways. Even if you like get nothing going for you, you can always nuke the shards into oblivion. And you have great defense. I'm sorry, what's the downside here?
I think maybe the last shard. He can't.
You can.
Yeah, he has to clear. Yeah, he can nuke it.
If you are having trouble getting ESOs in the right places, you can just nuke it.
Yeah.
If that's so bad.
So letter.
He should be like S tier, maybe only A, but like.
I was thinking A. I was thinking A. Isn't B a little low, Tutu? Why B?
I don't know. I just put him there in my list. Because I think I put him there because the bunker sniping wasn't gonna work. But I forgot about the nuke because I hardly ever use it.
Nukes.
Yeah, because you're so. This is like the equivalent of you putting Zeratul in B because you couldn't do a no mining solo.
That's
like,
fair.
Yeah, you can't bunker snipe. Oh no, you have to actually like put a slight amount of effort into it. Oh, the horror.
So is S
I do
okay for
think
you?
comps that wreck bunkers though, or like your explodey guys hitting invulnerable dudes, that also sucks.
Yeah,
S is good, but
Agreed. That's
I mean,
that's why I had him in A. I don't think he's.
I think
he's
A
probably
is
not
alright.
S. There's some people who are definitely stronger.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's S.
No, there's
Because
definitely one. There's
the
definitely
fact that
one S.
S means you make this mutation not a thing, but it's always gonna be a thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
But how about the last one? The last one, Together Forever. We had S there, right? Stetboy and Stukov. But anyway, I guess we're all eventually in agreement with
No,
A,
okay.
right?
But-
Or not A. A
Yeah, A makes sense for Manx.
Tutu.
Yeah.
All
A
right.
is fine.
Without prestige, I think it's still the same, right? You just have a different flavor of Arcturus, right?
Yeah.
All right. Artanis, where do we have him?
He has solar bombardment. He has actually solid defense because the thing is, especially if you're using P3, you can just, as it turns out, shield overcharged cannons are pretty good and will just shred things. And your ally gets the shield overcharge too. So your ally's gonna have a hard time losing units when all their stuff gets plus 400 HP all of a sudden. So yeah, defending is going to be very, very easy. Solar bombardment will delete every shard that is yours. You just need an ally who is sniping, and you are like super, super strong.
If I remember right, you can only snipe up to the third shard with just solar bombardment. You need something else to finish
Yes,
it
you
off.
need. So the third shard you can snipe with solar bombardment if you place it very, very precisely, or you'll need an orbital strike if you don't. If you have P3, the fourth one is just an orbital strike plus solar bombardment, unless your Archons get like have
Defeated.
bad luck with their success, in which case you just power field warp in like 4 dragoons and right click after the solar bombardment has fired everything. And then the fifth one you'll probably want to use like a tempest or something, but or like with disintegrate, because disintegrate can outrange the aggro range of all the shard defenders. I should clarify that's why a tempest works. Anyways, Artanis has great sniping. He's got great defense capabilities. He helps his ally a whole bunch with the defending, so he makes it so that like even if your ally isn't pulling very much weight, you will make sure that they succeed at defending. Personally, he's one of the 2 people who I would actually like probably insist on S tier. Manx was pretty fair to being A tier, but this one is like.
How about you, Tutu?
I would say that if I have no one in S, but if you were to put someone in S, that person has to be also good at front door, because if your ally is a front door commander, not a snipe commander, then you got to help him, right? I put Artanis in A for the same reasons. He's not a good front door commander.
Interesting.
He's a fine front door commander, I would argue, with shield overcharge.
Yeah, I guess therein lies the rub. He's
you
a
gotta
fine.
have that for attack and defense. You have like that many shield overcharges.
If you're
especially
using
if you're not
P3, you do. If you're not
If you're
P3,
then you don't.
that's true. So I guess he can go down a tier if you're not P3, since he can't help with front door very easily.
So A is fine.
A is all right.
I'd say Artanis is S tier here, but I think he's got great help. He's great at helping people front door if they have to. He's extremely good at sniping if he has an ally who can snipe. He supports his ally a lot. He's very capable at defending the base. His front door is completely fine if he gets forced into it. I will point out the Artanis speedrun on this map front doors several of the shards. That's the later shards that it front doors even. So
what do you think, Tutu? Do you think Artanis is okay with S?
No, because like you're fighting just die, so you're gonna keep getting hit if you try to go from the front door. If you're using dragoons, you might get clumped or you might get stuck at a choke, especially like the bottom left one. If you try to go up that ramp and you get stuck there, it depends who your ally is too. But
we already established though the reason you're front dooring is because your ally needs to front door, so your ally has to be there anyways.
Yeah, so you're gonna like block each other unless you go in, which in that case you'll take damage. And
your dragoons outrange most allies. I don't know what ally you should be tripping over. If
I don't think the dragoons outrange allies by that much by an entire ramp. That if your ally's blocking the ramp, the Dragoons would be able
Well,
to
if your
finish
ally is
below
completely
the round.
blocking the ramp, yes. But the thing is, even with that bottom left, which is the worst one, that ramp is there's a lot of space between that ramp and where you start the aggro range of the shard. Like the top of that ramp and where the aggro range starts, there's quite a decent amount of distance there.
Personally, I'm not too sold on Artanis being S. A is probably something that I'm very comfortable with. S, I think, is stretching it a little bit because yeah, when he's going front door, he's okay, but he's not, he's not an S at front door. He's S at
Honestly, I think he's
sniping.
one of the best for front door. I feel like there's only a handful of commanders who are better at front door than Artanis for this map.
Well, a handful is 5 commanders, and 5 commanders better than someone is probably enough to push them down the tier.
Is it 5?
A handful is 5. Come on, count. Anyway, yeah, I'm still not I'm still not completely sold on S because I keep hearing I must regroup my forces a lot. Maybe I'm bad at using shield overcharge, but still. I guess here's how we'll do it. If it's not unanimous, it's not S. Tutu, are you sold on S?
Then.
I did not. No, I'm not. I don't think anyone should be S. And if there is one, it's not him.
All right. So there it is. Artanis, he'll probably be top of A if anything. Let's move on.
I think Manx is better than Artanis because at least ESOs can attack from afar. If you're going front door, you're actually like just use ESOs to at least kill your stuff.
Well, as long as
ESO
as long as it's on the ground.
Solar bombardment still kills your stuff if you're front dooring. You just use a solar bombardment on the units instead of the shard in the middle of those units if you're front dooring.
Okay. Are you using solar bombardment on your shards?
I mean,
like normally when you use Artanis, like
well, you have when you're soloing for Artanis, you have solar bombardment for every single shard. So I'm not sure why you can't have solar bombardment for every.
Yeah, but you're gonna like run out of time if you're.
No, you can't. I doubt we did. That's what I mean. When you solo, you use solar bombardment on every single shard because you have time to use it on every single shard.
When you solo,
yeah, but then you like the timing is still the same. The time that solar bombardment is ready is still the same, and then you're gonna use it. But then, if your ally's not with you or like you're not killing enough stuff.
When you're solo, it's called solo bombardment.
There's a lot of wiggle room on the solo bombardment timing. Honestly, you are not going to like have to worry that much about like if your ally's just AFK, you're gonna lose anyways because it's polarity. So you can't just assume your ally's straight up AFK.
That's true. You can't assume your ally's straight up AFK, but still, I still don't think that it's strong to be S versus A. A is still really good. Let's remember, A is still really, really good. It's just not S. Oh well. Yeah, I think it's just not convincing enough. I'm sorry, Stetmann. It's just not convincing enough. I guess we could go back. Let's move on though. Dehaka, where do we have him?
So Dehaka's creeper hosts can snipe everything except the top left one you gotta get closer. So that's the hardest one. But from the natural, without even taking up building space, you can snipe whichever ones are yours.
It's like Earth Splitters.
Since you have polarity, you probably don't want as many creeper hosts, and you want some mutalisks to help, especially if your ally's a front door commander. But if you're both sniping, then you can just mass creeper host, and the pack leader can take care of a wave. So I put him in A.
What do you think, Stetmann?
I still lack faith in creeper host's ability to snipe after the last few times I've tried them, but I'll assume that they actually work. And yeah, you have sniping, you have front door.
I've
done
like
a solid A pick.
I've done Dehaka on this mutation. It works.
Yeah, it works. He's got front door and sniping.
Front door and back door.
He should be fine.
All right, let's move on. Phoenix.
Yes, he knows how to use all the doors.
All the doors. You should change him to Dehaka. Let's move on. Phoenix, where do we have him?
He doesn't know how to use the back door. He only knows how to use the front door. Well, no, that's not entirely true. if you know what you're doing with the Arbiter suit, you just stasis the detectors and right-click the shard with a very angry zealot, and it dies in a couple of seconds.
Can you stasis the units that aren't yours?
Yes, you
Yes.
can. So, yeah, Caldela's shard sniping still works. That said, I'm not sure how well that counts, given how, like, it's not that easy. I feel like he probably would go in B because he's better than Alarak if you're good at him, but if you're not really good at Phoenix, then you're probably gonna be like no better than you would be with Alarak, unless you're like really good with Phoenix.
2-2. Where do you have him?
Caldalis, invisible Caldalis sniping, I don't think like average players know how to do it. I mean,
Yes.
I understand the concept. I have never done it before. It's doable. It's an option, and you might be forced to use it. But I think just getting a strong like front door army is probably better. So he's a strong front door commander, but no sniping capabilities. I think B is okay.
Okay, so both of us agree. All of us actually agree with B. So let's have him B. Harren Horner. Where do we have him?
Oh my gosh. It's bad memories of them being terrible.
Now I remember that game.
We tried this like what 6 times?
No,
5, 6
first
I don't
try.
remember.
We beat it
4,
first
5
try.
times.
Come on. What are you talking about?
First try. I don't know, but it's if you don't know what you're doing, you're just you're not gonna get enough damage.
If you don't know what
to
you're
even
doing,
kill
you'll never
the-
ever win.
The second shard.
If you don't know what you're doing, you'll
Um,
never ever win. If you do know what you're doing, it'll still take you a few tries.
Yeah, I'm gonna nominate them for F. You just can't get enough damage, and your units don't survive if your allies they just don't survive.
Poor Harren Horner. How about you, Sixbender?
Hunter Horner and F makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah,
At least you're not alone in F. You have each other. Karax, where do we have him?
like Karax is the other person who has a potential for being in S tier, I would say. Again, he's got really good sniping, except his front door isn't nearly as good as Artanis, but he has repair beam to help his ally.
P2?
Yeah.
If you're P2, you can go front door.
P2 is an option. Then you're good at front dooring. Yeah, that's true. And if you do use P3, you can just be like, all right, ally front door, I will solar lance and purifier beam the snot out of everything that isn't yours to kill, and it will all die. And you can still make carriers. It's just you don't make as many because you're not P2.
Yes.
I
I agree with S, by the way. Just so you know. If you say S, I'll agree with it.
think that he is considerably worse than Artanis.
Interesting.
I'd say he was the other person I would have nominated for S. It was Artanis and Karax.
What do you think, Tutu?
His front door is worse than Artanis. So, because like if you miss stuff, or if you like solar lance the wrong thing, or if you click the wrong area or something, then you just wasted a lance. His sniping requires a lot of energy. So, for your own shards and the positioning of the observer, you have to know where to put it. Of course, since it's invisible, it's not as important, but you kind of have to go. The top left parts of every shard is the weakest part, so you should always try to fly in from the top left side. For defense, his defense is great, so you don't have to worry about that. I put him in A.
So the reason why I think Karax is slightly better than Artanis for front dooring is because carriers don't have to worry about choke points when you're P2. But I understand both of your points.
If choke points are so bad, you can use Tempest on Artanis. Tempest, I would say, are probably going to do at least as well as carriers.
They're so overkill, though. I guess. Anyway.
Oh, Tempest per supply, Tempest on A move is better than Dragoons on A move. I'm just going to say that outright.
I'm okay with either S or A for Karax. He's really good. But I guess Sixbender, you're gonna have to convince Tutu that Karax can go to S.
I thought he's worse than Artanis, and Artanis is not there. So
Yeah.
So A.
I guess so.
All right, there it is. Kerrigan, where do we have him?
Kerrigan is a front door only commander. I don't think Brood Lords are considered option for sniping because they're just not.
Not really.
Not.
No.
You can
so-
kind of snipe early shards of P3 Kerrigan.
But yeah, that doesn't really count.
It's similar to Alarak's ability to snipe with a mothership, I'd say.
Yeah, that's why I put Kerrigan next to Alarak because it's like this. It's similar things. Like earlier on, you can kind of snipe. You can kind of even like you won't die to the few enemies hitting you, just Kerrigan. But later on, when there are like bigger enemies, you gotta like you need an army, and Kerrigan's army is generally not very good. I put her in C.
Interesting. How about you, Stixbender?
I have no arguments with C.
All right. I'm okay with C also, but I would just like to note that one thing that Kerrigan has going for her over Alarak is, okay, ally, get in here. Let's get back to safety. Okay, we're gonna fight here now. Anyway,
Assuming the ally uses the worm, because I've definitely ever seen an ally do that.
that's
like,
true. That's
ever.
true. You need to have an ally who knows that he or she can use the worms. Let's move on. Nova, where do we have him?
Nova can snipe things pretty good. Her front door is not good. I think she's really sniping only for the most part. As for supporting her ally, she has defense drone, which is really strong.
So Kerrigan can make a friendly suggestion for her ally to fight alongside her. Nova can demand that her ally fight alongside her.
This is true. I would put her, I think, in B.
B. How about you, Tutu?
She can snipe pretty much all game long. You just get enough liberators and then right click a shard with defense drone and then run
Then
or fly or teleport,
Teleport.
whatever. I don't think her front door is that bad, and she takes care of waves pretty well. Because liberators are just super strong, and you can use Raven turrets for stalling if your ally isn't there or needs some like meat shields. I also have her in B though.
all right, that's fair. Raynor,
Oh, the other guy.
Stat boy.
Raynor, yeah.
He's better than Han Horner.
Better F.
Yes.
Much,
Better F.
much better.
Oh, he goes up to E?
I would put him in E unless we put Han Horner in like FF.
F minus, double F.
Well, what prestige would you say he's E or F? Any of them? Or P3 only?
I mean, P3 has more access to Hyperion, but all of them have access to Hyperion.
Oh, Peter has way more access. He can have close to 100% uptime on Hyperion
Yeah,
with P3.
like, it's a lot of Hyperion if you're.
The sniping's actually a lot better late game. The early game though is kind of rough.
Yeah.
If you remember, Tutu, in our game, I snapped the first 3 shards with Raynor, right? Or is it the first 2?
I think I killed the middle one.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it could
yeah, yeah,
expand,
that's
and then
true.
you killed.
I killed the
more,
third
and
one.
then I had to kill the last one.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Raynor can do a lot of snipe. Like Raynor's top bar is good. Like this just in, Raynor top bar really good. So I would say he's probably actually okay being in E.
Now that
His early game is really weak.
that's
His early
true.
game is quite weak.
That's true.
I mean, technically the first wave on this map comes late enough that you can stall it out until Banshees, but you probably just want to make a bunker.
Yes.
Your early game is
You
go.
need
You're
a bunker.
going.
I
What?
made 2
You're
bunkers.
you want a bunker.
Yeah.
I
you
need
want a
2
bunker,
I made 2
probably.
bunkers.
I mean,
The
technically, it's comp
Hyperion
dependent
and,
needing a bunker, but you probably want a bunker because most comps are going to demand a bunker.
Yes.
And yeah, you want to use the Hyperion and Banshees to snipe. It's true.
Yes, that's what we did.
That's what we
So,
did.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Stat boy, where do we have him?
Stetmann, he can heal his ally. He can tank with Zerglings. He is front door. He is front door. He can snipe with Corruptors, but it's not the best. Well, no, he's got pretty decent sniping actually. I'd say he can be A. He's got good sniping. He can support his ally. I think that he can probably be A.
I'm thinking of what better options Statboy has with sniping and corruptors. It's A corruptors.
No, the thing is, if you put corruptors in a pair of overcharged Steadilites next to each other with the corruptors inside them, puking on the Void Shard, that's like Nova Liberator level of sniping. Honestly, it's only slightly worse, to be honest.
What I have in mind actually is if you're a stat boy, what I would do is snipe my own shards as fast as I can, so that there are many shards of my allies. So if he wants to snipe, I'll give him vision using the Steadilites, and then otherwise, if he wants to frontal push, I can also frontal push. But the nice thing about having Super Gary at 4 minutes and 15 seconds is that I think he's strong to solo at least two of the early shards. You can just overcharge Green Zone, right? Green Studlight, and then just right click the shard with Super Gary. Does Gary not have enough DPS for that? I think I did that. I know I did that for at least the first one.
For sniping the shard, you mean?
Yeah. Well, it's technically sniping, but it's really more of it's technically sniping because Gary can go backdoor, but it's just frontal. It's just frontal shoving Gary.
It's a frontal push. It's a frontal push where my hero is so tanky that I don't even care that I haven't killed anything.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to place, and it's technically front door, but it's so early in the game. You can backdoor it. But what I would do actually is if the last shard is mine, if the northwest shard is mine, I just Gary zone there, overcharge Studlight, take it out right away, so that the remaining shards are easier objectively. How about you, T2? What do you think?
Stetmann is the best front door commander, and he has sniping capabilities. So he has the option. You probably won't be able to F2, or else all your lings will go with him, but you can. I've never actually used him for sniping because he's just so strong front door. I usually just go front door.
Yeah.
But for this one, like, it might have to. I put him in A.
All right. I was actually gonna try and see if I can get him in S, but oh well, A is fine. Stukov, where do I have him?
Stukov, the infested, I don't think are very good. You can kind of snipe if you use banshees, but you're gonna lose a lot. If you try to go front door, it's very slow, and like Stukov against Just Die is not great. It takes so long. It takes him very long to get a critical mass. I put him in C.
How about you, Sixbender?
I would say that like the thing is, if you are using the front door, your ally's gonna have to have a lot of patience sitting there waiting for your
Get in line
to kill their part. It's like it's just gonna be. It's going to be an adventure for the whole family.
Even the extended family. With how many infested Stukov bring.
I think he might even be D, honestly.
Wow.
He's really bad.
Wow. So C or D?
Yeah, I'd say he's D.
Are you okay with D, Tutu?
Yep. See, last time he was like really good because Chain of Ascension is like the terrain is great, and also there wasn't really much besides stalling. But this one, you're racing against a timer, and the
True.
timer matters.
It does matter.
So that's why him being super slow is really bad.
It's a factor. There it is. Swann, where do we have him?
He can kind of snipe shards. Sort of. So his front door is kind of terrible, like really terrible. His sniping is not great. His defense is pretty good. Yeah, I don't really see much advantage to Swann, to be honest, aside from the fact that he can snipe at least, and it's not like Stukov or Abathur terrible. I would say he's probably in C because he can snipe. It's just not great sniping.
What do you think, Tutu?
So by the time this comes out, my quick guide to sniping the Void Slivers on Scythe of Amon will be out. So you can take a look at that and see how to snipe this with examples of different mutations on how to snipe each of the 5 shards. So sniping shards is not that difficult, but you just need to know how to do it. And a lot of people don't know how. So you can check it out to see how. If you know how to snipe the shard, it's you can snipe the shards without drawing a lot of aggro, and you just need to spend time like babysitting. You don't even have to look because you're just drilling the shard, and in the meantime you just build turrets and macro and stuff. I put him in B, but I can see, like, if you don't know how to snipe shards, you're a terrible front door commander. So
I was just kind of feeling like he's a lot worse than Nova, I'd say. But then, to be fair, I don't know. He feels like worse. Okay, he can be B because I feel like he's between Nova and Phoenix. Actually.
Buhan again! The Buhan wins again! Can't believe it!
I swear this isn't intentional. He just is a pretty decent commander at everything.
Buhan. Without prestige, still B.
yes,
yeah,
because it's the same sniping.
The laser drill is shooting a rock, so it doesn't matter whether the laser drill is splash damage. It is shooting a literal rock.
That's fun. I assume it combines elements of the usual Florida factory, and the northwest portion of each sliver is the weakest, so you kind of queue up your factories there and just maintain vision or something. That's probably what I would.
You just need one. Yeah,
really?
You just need one.
So
but if you're not confident, you can build backups.
Mm-hmm.
So just fly it at the top left of each shard, right?
The top ones, you teleport a Herc and build with 4 to 6 SCVs and build one there.
That's fun.
And then the left one, you can the bottom left one, you can fly the top left one towards there or fly from the bottom.
Oh, I try that.
Imagine if SCVs inside a Herc could repair the Hercules.
Oh, I try that.
That would be funny.
That would be funny. Anyway, let's move on. Tychus, where do we have him?
So Tychus is generally a front door commander, but you can snipe shards with Sam, especially if it's P2. So you just get the 3rd gear that gives him super cloak, and then you manually activate it, run in, throw a grenade, and then run out of the circle.
Yeah.
And you repeat
until it's dead.
That's, if you wish to snipe, that's how you do it. It's much easier than the Phoenix one, but
if you're having trouble with Sam dying, you can always use medevacs on him. If you have medevac cooldown, this makes it a lot easier.
Yes, and if you use the medevac, you should not drop him immediately. You should drop him after like 5 seconds so that you get super cloak again. You hold him in the air for like a few seconds to make sure that when you drop him, you have super cloak and you can get out.
That's
or you no, like the reason to hold him there would be so that you can drop him again. He has super cloak again. He can throw another bomb at the shard and then walk out. Otherwise, you could just fly out with the medevac, obviously. But the advantage of staying is that you can throw an additional bomb.
All right. Yes. So where do we have him?
If you don't do that, he's also a great front door commander. If you don't snipe like that, he's just not as good as the snipers. So I put him in B.
B. How about you, Stixbender?
I feel like he's A because he has solid sniping and because he's got great front door. And if he really needs to, he can support his ally too.
That's actually compelling. What do you think about that, Tutu?
I think that's all right.
So you think A's fine?
Yeah.
Look how many A's we have, but not a single S. This is like.
Because this mutation sucks.
I know what to put in S. I know what to put in S.
The most you can do is like 51%.
Yes.
Voice chat.
Well, no. Technically, we have discovered that you can, in fact, completely and outright solo it if the game really wants you to have all the shards. Which actually means that technically,
You
Scythe
can
of
roll
Amon
it.
solos are doable. There are Scythe of Amon solos that could be done.
Yeah, you just keep rolling.
Scythe. This mutation could be soloed if you roll enough until you get that. Then you save that. You save that seeds with the Meguro map, so you can just not have to reattempt.
You must have figured out what I have been trying this whole week.
You've actually been trying to solo this.
No, I've been trying to roll 5 shards. I haven't rolled 5 shards, so I just stopped.
It was impossible. Yeah, no. First try, CTG and I rolled all 5 of them were his, and I just sat there and spectated the game. I literally just got to spectate the game.
My goodness, that was crazy.
Very dumb.
We didn't even try.
I tried that for like 30 minutes. I'm like, I don't think this is possible. And now that you said it's possible, I think I might try again.
Oh no, Sticks
I'll
Bender.
try it too, probably, at this point.
What evil have we put upon Tutu?
Don't worry, I'll help him roll.
We just made them.
Once one of us rolls it, we can just post the replay and then we can share the same seed.
Oh yeah, you gotta tell me. You gotta tell me the you gotta send me the replay so I can cast it. A 5-0.
Yeah, a solo of Polarity.
There it is.
Commander. There's a few commanders who I think
I was thinking Manx.
Do it. Manx is definitely one of them. Yeah.
I'll let you guys.
Yeah. We're getting completely sidetracked, by the way.
I'll let you guys work that amongst yourselves.
We should go back to this afterwards.
Yeah. Vorazun.
Yeah, discuss that after.
Vorazun, where do we have him?
Vorazun. Can snipe. Can front door okay. Has time stop. Time stop is good for your ally. Like, very good for your ally.
Very good.
But her front door isn't that good. So I would probably put her in B tier. She feels kind of similar to Nova.
When you say not good at front door, does that factor in time stop? You can just, if your ally is front door, you can just time your time stops when he's walking up a ramp or walking into the shard, so that most of the enemies would be deleted, and then all that stuff would be the shard.
I don't know. I feel like it's similar to the ability of Nova to support with top bar, to be honest. Yeah, time stop's good and all, but stuff still needs to die, and it still has just die. And
all right, that's fair.
It's also how to shoot up.
How to shoot up. There it is.
I would say Vorazun and Nova are actually extremely similar this week.
Okay. How about you, Tutu?
I put her in A, but I can see why she's like, when taking enemy comp into consideration and like Corsairs being crappy, I can see B.
All right. So without prestige, still B?
No.
Yes.
You need P3.
What?
I think you need P3 to
I don't
snipe.
think so. No, you don't.
All right.
Time stop plus Oracle. Time stop plus Oracle Gober. You can snipe without.
Oh, so instead of making DTs, use Oracles.
Yeah.
And then
Stasis Ward is a good seal, so you should be fine against the waves anyways.
All right.
So I say she can be B regardless. She's like a higher BU of P3, but she's still B either way.
All right, that's fine. So let's move on. Zagara, where do we have him?
Sniping only.
Sniping only.
Sniping only. I feel like P1 is a trap for this one, because Banelings against just die is just really bad. You probably want Zagara the hero to fight the waves, probably with bio launchers to save resources.
I would probably have gone with P1 bio launchers, but that works too.
No, either one. Like you could also do that. P1 bio launchers with weight. But then like my point is that you can snipe your shards, but then you don't if you're wasteful because your banelings are blowing up invincible dudes as they switch switch polarity.
Switch polarity.
That's gonna hurt. So I put her in B.
How about you, Sixbender?
Sniping only in B. See, the other B commanders feel more versatile to me, to be honest. So I'm not certain about putting her in B when there's like I'm thinking lower. It's like she feels better than the C tiers, but she feels worse than all the B tiers.
Okay, is she closer to B or closer to C? Or midway?
She's like right in the middle. She's really midway. I just don't even know. Like she's so in the middle between those.
I would say if your ally's also a snipe commander, then you probably clear pretty quickly before the enemy waves get bigger.
Yeah.
So if your ally's not a snipe commander, then you're gonna have to fight it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So closer to B or closer to C? I guess she's either bottom of B or top of C at this point.
Pretty much.
I'm okay with either. I'm okay with either. Although, I guess something to be said is the Scourge fly into shard is more intuitive to most players than Phoenix teleport, Caldalis or Swann build factories behind the Void Shard, or I don't know, or Vorazun make oracles.
You know what? Let's give Zagara an early Christmas present and put her in B.
All right, there it is. Zagara in B. All right. Without prestige, does it change?
Yeah, we just established it doesn't. It like regardless of what prestige you use, you're gonna have roughly the same game plan.
Nice. All right, Zeratul, where do we have him?
So. He's interesting. He's got. He's mostly front door, I guess I would say.
Yes.
I think. So
what does he snipe with?
Cannons, probably.
Dark Templar and Zeratul and P1 question mark?
There's this thing I did before where I went a lot of enforcers and I used the first prestige. I think it was what was the first prestige called? Anaksan? And then I dropped at the rear and I just right click the void shard or the void sliver with enforcers. And it went down. I think it's kinda slow. Not really
P1 exists.
Yeah, it exists.
The best, but it works. It exists.
But the thing is, if you're going to solo queue, you can't really determine if your ally is someone who'd frontal push or who would snipe.
But if it is frontal push, then P1 is just like time stop light. So to be fair,
kind of, that's true.
I'd say he's got good frontal push, and he can snipe. Emphasis on can. It's not as a comfy place, but he can do it.
Let's just drop him B and be done with it.
Yep, that's where I was actually going to put him.
How about you, Tutu?
I was gonna put him in the same place, but I didn't think he could snipe at all. Well, actually, I know there's one snipe where you do the Avatar of Essence bug, and we
Ah,
stack
the
the
fast.
auras, but that's super difficult
That's
to do.
super. I've never even tried that. That seems so
It's
so
so hard. And
specific.
I've seen it done, but that player is like super good, and it's like very precise. So I don't think you can do. I've tried it. It doesn't. It's really hard.
I've
So
done it.
if
but
you do it,
yeah.
it's like you just go in and Zeratul just swipes the shard like until it's dead.
If you
and
do it,
really
you don't.
quickly.
If you do it, you don't need this tier list. What are you doing here?
Yeah. Like-
No, I mean, if you can probably just like figure out how to do it without necessarily being. You could basically. It's very rote. It's kind of like if you can manage to practice one micro trick over and over and over again, and you don't know anything else, but you know how to do that micro trick, then that's the strat for you.
But yeah, so
That's a
let's
bond.
just assume most people can't do it. So
Yeah.
he's basically like front door, and he's not as good as Stetmann at front door.
Yeah. So B. That's B.
Yeah, so I think B is fine.
All right. I assume that's still B without prestige, right?
Yeah.
All right. There it is. So let's go to ranking. Who's the best among the S? So we're arguing Artanis
Boy.
or Statboy.
Yeah, I would say the top of A is like Artanis, Stetmann, Karax in that order.
Artanis, Statboy, Karax. What do you think, Tutu?
Yeah.
Oh well. I guess I have to settle for. I was thinking that Statboy. I don't know. I guess I'm biased with Statboy, but I thought it was the best one. But if you guys both agree that Artanis is better, sure. Let's give Artanis his first rank 1. I think this is Artanis' first rank 1 ever, and he can't even get S. That's kind of sad.
I really feel like he should have been asked, to be honest, but oh well.
Oh well.
This is the sad timeline we live in.
There are a lot more things to be. Oh, anyway, who's next? Arcturus and Dehaka feel like the same kind of deal here, except Arcturus is nukes. So Arcturus over Dehaka. Arcturus is drop bunkers.
Probably.
How about you, Tutu?
No, I'd actually put Arcturus. Arcturus has of the A tiers. Arcturus is the only one who is like, well, no, he's not. He's actually not, but he can front door. I was about to say he's the only one who can't, but he can. He's just like, I think, the worst at it.
What do you think, Tutu?
Of the remaining ones?
Yeah. I think Arcturus is better at sniping, but Dehaka has more solid frontal pushing with pack eaters and stuff.
I think Dehaka's better.
Dehaka's
front door plus defense is just very strong, and his sniping is not that much worse.
I guess we could call it a tie or something. I can flip a coin if you guys want, but I don't think they're very far off. They feel like almost the same kind of deal with 1 or 2 differences. But Sticks better. Do you think Dehaka can go over Arcturus?
Yeah, I'm not really too picky between the two of them who goes up.
All right, there it is. So for B, I think Zagara's bottom of B, right? Who's top of B?
Top of B is probably going to be Nova, Vorazun, one of those two.
Nova's pretty good.
Nova's pretty good.
Say Nova then Vorazun, maybe.
Like this?
Yeah. And then I think Swann is better than Phoenix, question mark?
What do you think, Tutu?
Swann is better than Phoenix.
Nova, Vorazun, correctly ordered? So it's Nova, Vorazun, Swann, Phoenix. And then Zagara is at the bottom, so Zeratul is the last one there. So is B correctly ordered now?
Yeah, looks alright.
Alright. C. Who's better between Alarak and Kerrigan?
I have no idea.
Alarak?
because he can kind of snipe.
I
No,
think
Kerrigan
Alarak
also.
at least has the all-in option at the end if this is the last shard. Kerrigan kind of has to go in and fight.
Immobilization
what.
wave?
But are you gonna kill the shard before it runs out?
Not sure, but it's still an all-in
And
type
you're
of
gonna
thing.
body block each other? Unless you're just using Mutalisk.
Ooh, that sounds painful. Oh well. What do you think, Tutu, that Alarak over Kerrigan is fair? Or Stickspender? Alarak over Kerrigan is fair?
Yeah, I think I don't even really know who to put higher or lower between the two of those, so sure.
All right, that's fair. For D, who's better between Abathur and Stukov?
I think Stukov is better.
I think Stukov's better. Yeah.
Stukov's easier, and he
We can agree on
he's not-
Stukov being better.
he's
Hooray.
not gated by biomass. That means he's not dependent on his ally to level him up. So there it is.
Like early game, he has powerful cooldowns to at least assist his ramping up.
That's true. All right, so that will do it. That is the tier list for this week. My goodness. Watch Tutu and Sticksbetter's channels. I will link them down below, and I will see you guys next time.